So it's a head scratcher morning, and the head scratchers are for the Reformed, the TULIP, the Calvinist people. And the question is, does God want a relationship with humans or does he not? And to add more to that, my understanding is the TULIP followers believe that God, after the fall, creates all men without the ability to relate, to have a relationship, to desire, to want Jesus, to be able to understand Jesus and spiritual things in a way that God and man can relate. But it seems to me that God did seek us in the garden, and that seems like someone who wanted to continue the relationship. Now, maybe the Calvinist reformer right there says, see, he does all the work. He comes to you. Yep, he did come to us. He continues to come to us, and he makes everything around us evidence of himself. Now, this is Isaiah, and this verse came to me last night. Come now, and let us reason together. Now, this is Isaiah's vision, his revelation from God. God gives it to this specially chosen man to relay to the people. Though your sins are scarlet, they can be whiter than snow. If you, God, through man speaking to men that are fallen, men that, according to TULIP, have no hope, no ability, no desire, totally wicked and depraved from birth, never going to come to God unless God regenerates them first. Do you think Isaiah thought, hey, there's just a few out here that are select, so I better go and preach, even though most of them are going to be passed by, left behind, or have been predetermined for hell anyway? I'm not sure how Isaiah thought. But why does Isaiah say it like this? If you consent and obey, then you will. If you refuse and rebel, again, like you have a choice in the matter, like what you do and how you respond, you're responsible for it. Okay? Now, I got to just back up, and then we're almost done with this head scratcher. If I was going to just make one straight head scratcher, why all this responsibility talk from God through the prophet? Why act or say or talk as if the people actually have a choice, if everything's predetermined, if there's nothing these people could have done otherwise except for be evil and continue in evil, because that's what God designed. He has to do a special work in you, right? Now, notice it says, I raised you up as sons, but then you revolted against me? Wait a second. Were they sons or were they not sons? How come they didn't persevere? How does that work? And, here, I know that the Calvinist reformers would use this and say, see, just like John 10, but wait, let's read on. People weighed down with iniquity. You are evildoers. Your sons act corruptly. Well, yeah, they do. But wait a minute. They have abandoned? How can they abandon? If they were sons, they can't abandon according to perseverance. If they weren't actually sons, then they couldn't have actually abandoned. Why? Because they never were there. They were never in the fold. They were never in the sheep's pen. Why would they despise if they were sons? Wait a minute. What's all this responsibility talk? They have turned away, whether they were believers or unbelievers. What does that mean? How can there be all this responsibility talk when there's nothing they can do according to TULIP Reformed theology? They're born that way by decree. They are in a default. I'm trying to think. When you reset your computer and it goes back to its default functions, they're all default function computers, and there's nothing they could do. Oh, as you continue in your rebellion? What do you mean? How can it be your rebellion? This is predetermined. You get the point. So head scratchers abound, Isaiah 1:18. How can we reason together? Oh, wait a minute. That's another thing. Relationship. That was really the main point I wanted to make. This sounds like relationship language. And how could anybody say to anybody, let's reason together? Let's think about your situation, how you got here. That just seems like a dumb thing, according to Reformed TULIP theology. There's no reasoning, If we're not going to have a relationship, we're not going to have a relationship unless I change you first. So there's really nothing to reason. I could probably go for another hour on just this chapter alone, but head scratchers abound.